when we ran really hard in November, Sonny called it perfectly. He said, "This is an artificial like demo. This is like not sustainable, and what needs to happen is the whole system needs to die, and it needs to be paired more with Pulse." So I don't know what happened after we collapsed, but we did see the values go back up. And I was not paying attention to the
everything
actual
already
ratios.
collapsed, right? It did collapse already, right?
It hyper collapsed right after Sonny predicted
and
it.
Everyone stopped buying it, and except for us.
What about, and think about the overall crypto market cap. Like, what did we top out last time? Was like 3 trillion.
Oh no, no! At that point, we would literally be at least us alone would be worth $1 trillion. Us alone, at least $1 trillion.
Yeah.
So the total.
So is this the narrative that B-Roots is talking about? Because B-Roots is always saying that Teddy is going to flip everything, like SHIB, Doge. Like he's talking about, he's saying nobody's listening, nobody knows, but he keep repeating it over and over. He's saying like Teddy is going to be the number one gainer of all memes ever. So is he riding that? Is he riding that idea off of how Atropa and all these things are going to rebuy Teddy, or like how does that idea work?
Right, because it's a meme. Memes are easier to onboard, right? So just because the meme alone and people not knowing the utility will onboard people, and then the fact that they find that it actually does have utility, and not only the meme utility, and the fact that it's backing TSFI, which is the money printer within the DAI stablecoin ecosystem. It's like literally the money printer. It's the printing press, but it's backing the printing press. It's like literally the Federal Reserve in like the equation. And then since it's a meme and it's tied to the K-pop, the whole K-pop culture thing, like so all the tokens that are kind of tied to that will still come back to
It's such a better meme too. I mean, think about it. Like, there's people that love cats and hate dogs, and vice versa. Like, everybody had a teddy bear. Everybody. Who hates teddy bears? I mean,
teddy bear with a little symbol too. That little symbol in there that looks like a bear. And there's no owner. There's no company. It's just straight community.
Anybody know who the biggest holder of Teddy is, like individual wise, not like a contract wise, like how much they're holding? What percentage?
I'll go check the holders.
He actually came in the chat.
It's at least 20%. It's around 20, maybe 15, but around 20, I believe. Hopefully 30. I hope 30 or 40, but I think it's. But Teddy has the most top 20 liquidity pairs in the entire Pulsechain. It literally has 10 of the top 20 liquidity pairs in the entirety of Pulsechain. 10 of the top 20.
Yeah, it's always like we're on Dex Screener. Like it's always up there. And volume wise, like
they love it. They love it. The bots love it because it's paired with everything. And I think it's just the way it was designed. Like I'm not.
You met the number one holder.
I hope. What is it?
Greg met the number one holder, Teddy. He came on one of our VCs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you talked to him. He's a cool guy. Like him a lot. Yeah. So yeah, you
got me be even more bullish. He goes, I'm the number one holder of Teddy. And
any of the top holders of these protocols just can chill and relax. They don't have to worry about ratio trading or anything.
He was worrying at first, and he said, man, I listened to your space, and then I had to come in here and meet you. He goes, I just wanted to let you know, like I'm the top holder.
Wow, there's 15,839 holders, and there's 15,000 active users on Pulsechain every day.
It gets wilder. Not only was he said he's number one holder, he also said he's a number one liquidity provider for the project. So he holds a lot, to say the least. That guy was cool, so.
Yeah, he was really smart too. He's like, just give me the rundown of what you think's going on. And I told him, and he was like, I'll be right back. He's like, where are you going? He's like, probably to go buy more. Or no, I think there was another token that he liked to go buy that he ended up going to buy or something. But he pretty much, owns almost all of the tokens within the ecosystem. But he was a firm believer that it was only going to peg because of Atropa. He didn't know that this whole other narrative was at play until he heard one of our streams or like one of our talks in here.
All right, well, all we can do is wait and hold. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I didn't think that
is this yes no whatever
1000x. Yeah, it's yes no. What's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Super excited for everything going on, and man, I didn't think the narrative of 1000x and so on and so forth was something for this cycle, But if that's what everybody's
talking Access Alive is saying, like there's old like OOG hexagons that are calling him asking him like, okay, what like that's why they got me on the stream. Clip that went 39,000 people watched about me saying that Richard Hart shorted ETH. I made a response video to it, and I kind of make the claim that like maybe I was a little hyped. He didn't technically short it, but he got more SDI because that's what he wanted. I mean,
yeah, of course, yeah, he made short-term yields on SDI for sure, 100%. The proof is there.
Right, and the fact that he used DAI to go into it, like you get 100%, 50% collateral. But the thing is, he burnt the DAI.
I'll literally navigate exactly what he did. He moved 200 million DAI stablecoin into Spark's SDI. He pulled out 189 million from that. He then split it between like 5 or so wallets.
4, yeah.
Or 10, yeah, like 20 million.
And then he minted DAI. He never got rid of any of it. He literally had the DAI. He had the SDI. He had the Ethereum, and he had the DAI. He literally minted the DAI. He never had to sell anything. He literally burnt the DAI for DAI, or wrapped it to the SDI, right? And then he took the SDI, bought Ethereum with it, right? And then at that point, minted more DAI out of thin air.
Well, Rick, do you know that one, the singular $200 million transaction that he did into SDI?
It was 400 million.
Well, all that 400 million is converted back to the ETH now.
No, I know. No. Well, no. 300 million of it is still in DAI. It's inside the D3M protocol. I know in his wallet, yes, that's because he's made $300 million. So yes, his old $400 million is, but the other 300 million of his dollars is sitting inside the MakerDAO protocol, minting 64 million.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to show me those TXs. I haven't seen those.
Okay, go to makerburn.com. I've taken screenshots. Go to Riggy's rabbit hole. I took screenshots of it all.
Where the hell is Riggy's rabbit hole?
Exactly.
It's in here.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Exactly.
I love our group. I love our community. Yeah. So it's like go to Riggy's rabbit hole and then like scroll up a little bit, and it's going to be the one that says so XXX 184 million DAI was minted with this, and 24 million was minted with this. And if you look in the protocol, he's like the number 4th or 5th one down. It says D3M, like it's a MakerDAO protocol, and has 300 million DAI in it, and you can like literally see right now that it's like the whole protocol is minting 8 DAI a second, 8.6 DAI a second, and that means in 5 days they will have minted 1.2 billion DAI. In 5 days. 5 days from now, they will reach their next collateralization height ceiling. They will then have to raise it from 2.5 to 5 billion, and then 5 billion to 10 billion, 10 billion to 20 billion, and then and then it's going to go faster and faster because he's going to be able to let more and more money. Because right now he doesn't have to use any of his leverage.
That is the same amount of money when he times it by an hour.
No,
there's so much money.
Remember what I told you? That like he could literally take it, turn it into 8 billion, and within 8 billion, the 8 billion would literally be at that point 20% of 8 billion, even if it was one way or the other. He would split it in half, so it'd be 20% of 8 billion is literally 80 billion. That's 20% of that is like literally $20 billion a year. If you could literally break that down to the hour at $20 billion a year, I mean, you can just take that even by the day, and he could be making tons of money.
Bro, they've literally minted like 12 million DAI in the last like 45 minutes.
Yeah. They're literally making 200 million DAI a day right now.
What?
Yes, exactly. That means like, so do the math. Like I wrote it in, like, look at it. If you keep reading, it tells you, it says by November, which is 8 months from now. Well, 8 months around, which is a little bit after November, but it's gonna ramp up. If it stays at 200 million a day, then yes, it's gonna take till January like 23rd for them to get 22 billion DAI. But it's gonna ramp up because more money's gonna come in. Yes, of DAI.
If they're minting 200 million a day, and they need 22 billion to hit the mark.
Yes.
It's 110 or 20 days.
Correct.
Yeah.
I undercut it on purpose. I was just like 8 months at the longest. But yeah, it's like literally nothing. It's like literally November.
Exactly. It's basically November, unless they put the throttle down.
Yep. If it's 20 billion, it's 1,000 days, dude. You're missing a zero.
200 million a day.
The current average
10 days is $2 billion.
10 days.
100 days.
Billion.
Yes, 10 days.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Guys, the website literally says 363 days. It's minting around 13.35 DAI a day last month. No, that makes no sense. I just watched it mint way more than that.
Yo, dude, that's the thing, right? Because, you have to look down. If you look down, There's also protocols that are losing DAI, like that are like negative DAI or negative USDC, so they have to pay that back. So like they're averaging it out because they're putting it. The way that Maria is like spacing it out, the real Maria, spacing it out in a way because her Summerfy protocol allows you to take ETH and pair it against DAI, and you can make 14x more ETH, or you can take DAI and pair it against ETH, and you can make 17x more DAI. So she's literally leveraging it out in a way with different coins and different ecosystems in different ways, to where it's literally minting the most DAI that it can while it's still providing the most collateral that it can. So it's like literally, you ever heard of Yearn Finance, where you get leverage on your stakes, pretty much. You get leverage on providing liquidity, pretty much. That's what she's created. But they've created it within the same ecosystem because they have Spark, which has 970. It's like the number one right now. Spark alone is only collateralizing half of it. They're only collateralizing 500 million of it, and they're literally minting 200 million a day, almost 200 million a day on their own.
And this is Maria Magnus, right?
And they're only using half of it because it's all of it, because there's a debt ceiling, and then there's a debt ceiling cap. So like the 2.5 is like the debt ceiling cap, but like the most they can have right now is like a little under 2 billion. And they can't put too much in there because it's minting too much DAI. If it's minting too much DAI, then one of the other protocols becomes uneven, and then that means that they're burning too much USDC or USD, and then they're actually, they're not finding the right equilibrium. So they're like literally they have to base it off the trading volume of the bots, the money made by the bots, the money and all that. So like they're literally it's called BA Labs, which I believe is Bot Analytical Labs, and those BA Labs are literally the labs that they created that are his liquidity pools, so he can literally create his own minting press. And eventually that minting press is going to be on every single chain, ran by every single bot, and it's going to be what controls the supply of DAI and every other stable, to make sure it stays completely at an equilibrium, and it's prepared for anything that happens. So if a bunch of fiat starts hitting the chain, it's going to start front running the fiat. If a bunch of other way around, it might start burning it, or it might start using it more as collateral to start evening it out. It might start turning the DAI into Ethereum and holding the Ethereum that way, and then wrapping it and staking it and providing collateral into other things. But I think they're going to be able to mint so much of it that Hex is going to be like Bitcoin times 10. Like it's going to literally reach thousands of dollars, and it's going to be so liquid that it's so liquid that it's going to be insane. And they're going to do all this without ever listing on an exchange, ever. They're never going to have to go on exchange. They can always tell them no. But the good thing is Binance is technically, quote unquote, in on it. Why would we need an exchange if we have Binance?
Exactly. I mean, like I said, the exchanges have to come begging to us once the official DAI moves to Pulsechain. They don't have a choice.
He's been sending them DAI, so he sent them 130 million yesterday, and he sent another 120 million into their protocol today. So they're making a lot more.
What? Richard sent Binance 100 million DAI?
It might have been a bot that went in there. That's the third time that he sent a bot with over 100 million in there. They're all protecting each other. Like
on Pulse, he sent 100 million DAI.
The reason that he's doing this is because remember how that other guy said that, I thought that they all had, even Sonny said, no, all the copies were like way bigger. I said, go look at them now. They're not. That means that Richard literally went in there to the copies and extracted them in 10x values and made them all equal, except for the stable coins and the ETH. Everything else was also times by 1,000,000x. And then underneath all of our eyes, he literally went and took it and made all the values match. And what did he do with those values? He moved them to every other chain. So every other chain can have their own copies. So it's like a fail safe in between. And then what's his name was like, wait, what are you talking about? Sonny was like, what do you mean? I said, go look at the values of Link on Pulse and Link on ETH. I said, they are the same supply. He goes, but they weren't. He goes, dude, it was like 100x more. I said, yeah, not anymore. He goes,
yeah, it's not. They're the same. They're the same values. Who said it was 100x more?
He did. They were, because they were, like I told you, it used to be all the major copies where everything was 100 more on the Pulse side.
And he didn't rebase them. Like I still have the same values on my wallet.
He literally went into there and either removed it or because he didn't change the value. So he did something. He might, you know what? He probably went in there and just changed the decimals. went in there and relaunched it and changed the decimals. He went in there and flash loaned it out, and then just went from the decimals of 20 to the decimals of 18. You know what I mean? Or like decimals of 21 to the decimals of 18.
By the way, Rick, you know
that Sunny's pub is on.
Remember that triangle token that I was talking about the other day?
Yeah.
It's up 3x right now.
What's it at now?
That's no nukes, bro.
Yeah,
that's no nukes. That's the major pairing with Discovery, which is that latest 414 token. Yeah, and it's up.
The no nukes movement.
What's Atropa's second biggest pair?
What's the what biggest pair? Sorry.
What's Atropa's second biggest pairing?
Here, let me check right now. No, it's the second pair of die. There's two pairs of die. One pool's 24. You know that. The other one's 900K.
What's its second biggest pairing? That's not die.
That would be teddy bear on the other side. So teddy bear into Atropa would be 490.
Really?
Now look up Monat Money and see how much supply of Rat BTC Monat Money holds. Like what's its like two top pairs and the supply that it has. Like
the two biggest pairs are DAI stablecoin and WBTC.
Okay, what's the percent of WBTC? Like how many WBTC does it have?
34,000.
34,000?
No, $34,000. So around 110.
Around 1,000?
No, 110.
It only has 110 BTC.
Yeah.
That's worth 34 grand. Oh yeah,
right now, bro. I'm telling you, time flies when you're having fun.
Damn, dude. And you know what? Literally, there's only 1,500 circulating supply. So if that dude owns 100, Teddy owns 100, that takes it down to 1,300. I bet you Richard owns 95% of the supply. There's only going to be 1,000 tokens in circulation.
Hold on. Hold on. We never checked how much Rack BTC Teddy Bear owns. We have to check. Ideally, we should
accumulate. We need to accumulate Rat BTC. Just the Rat BTC. Even the LP, just the Rat BTC PDI LP. That's a sexy one to hold because even once they reach parity, you just get a bunch of stables. So it's a great hold.
Greg, let's hop on a call later. I have a plan for Rat BTC.
Right on. Yeah. Oh,
let's see.
The plan is to try as much as I can and hold it.
The plan is to front run from Richard Hart every single moment that he builds a bridge. We front run him. We do it like we do it every day. He's probably this keeps doing goddamn streams right when I'm building. We didn't talk about it though. I was like, it's too big. I was like, I'm not dropping that on him. I'm not dropping more news right now.
No, you did good. You stayed away from a lot of the speculation and just used the stuff you had hard evidence of, which was smart. So no one could say, "Oh, that's this." And
I was like, this is mild. This big speculation here. Same thing with as far as touching on Hexanaut and this and that. I said,
"Oh, is it really speculation when his name is literally Hexanaut and he literally says I love
I wrote him a message, and at the end of it I said, "Man, great work, not a hexagon."
Yeah, it's not speculation on that part, in my opinion, because he literally has.
It might be Hexacan. He's like Hexacan. He's like Hexanaut.
Love me some hex removes any speculation.
And I believe someone else said that in the chat that they were like, "This dude loves him some hex."
Yeah.
And like I said, he responded to my chat today. Literally responded to it because I accidentally hit it when I talked to him. When I messaged him,
I wrote on one of his messages, his tweets. I literally wrote PDI. I said EDI, SDI, PDI.
No, I'm talking about I messaged him last night, bro, with my Pulse Trends thing, and I said, "When is Spark coming to Pulsechain?" And then he responded, I deleted it, and then he read it because I guess he saw it, and he responded with, he's like, "Read this." And then I read it, and it pretty much said that as long as the owner of MakerDAO owns MakerDAO, and there is no owner of Spark, or if there is an owner of Spark, MakerDAO can still control it.
Wait. Who said that to you?
And Hexanaut, bro. He responded to my message.
He literally
he messaged you. What chat?
What, dude?
What owner of Maker?
His main.
I thought it was a DAO.
The Phoenix Labs.
Oh, wait. So where did this message go down? Was it on Twitter or was it on Telegram?
He no longer works for Spark Finance. He no longer works there. He's now just.
Where were you talking to him, on Twitter or Telegram?
Yeah, on Twitter. It's in the.
You literally said, "When is Spark coming to Pulse?" And he literally said, "Read this."
Yes. But I deleted my message that I said that. But then I responded again with the GeoRig account.
But yeah, did you delete your message after he read it?
No, I didn't know. Because I was like, damn it, I shouldn't have done that. I don't want to. He didn't care because he doesn't work there anymore. I read it. His thing and Maria's things have changed. They no longer work for anybody. They work for like Maria works kind of for Spark, but she owns Summerfy. And then he doesn't work for Spark, but he tells them what they need to do.
Oh my god! So they're basically white labeling front ends that are connected to Spark Finance.
He said there's no reason for needless to say, without saying it out loud, he said there's no reason for Spark to come because the owner of whatever owns the Spark protocol, and that made sense to me. So then I, in my head, I'm going, no, that's why he bought DAI. That's why he bought it with DAI, because he didn't need to be on the leaderboard. That's why they changed it the next day and they took him off the leaderboard. They didn't want people to notice that Richard even got on the leaderboard, so they did it really quick. Literally within like 6 hours of him buying, they got him off the leaderboard. And technically, when you buy DAI with anything, and you put it up for collateral, you get 150% extra. So technically, he would have got a 1.5x more. And you can't buy DAI. Technically, unless you're an admin, you can't just get DAI into SDAI. It wouldn't burn. It would literally be left as collateral, but he literally burnt it and then reminted it. Again, only an admin could do. So that shows you right there that he owns the protocol. And I think that he owns MakerDAO. I literally think that he's owned MakerDAO probably since he was holding all that DAI, because he has all the Bitcoin, all that Bitcoin's his, and we're talking so much Bitcoin. It's like at least like 94 billion, I think, in Bitcoin. It's something stupid. No, I'm sorry. It was 94 million, but it was stretched out over like 6 different things. So it was like 300 million at least of the Bitcoin, because they kept raising the debt ceiling so he could keep adding more Bitcoin. But now like the entire protocol is backed by Bitcoin, like real Bitcoin. Like I remember he giving you the address and he goes, did you look at that proxy and you see how much Bitcoin it has? I was like, no. You're like, dude, there's got Bitcoin coming out of its ears and it's not even doing anything. It's just sitting there. So I think that's how he kind of took control over it, because with votes,
I mean, over here, he'd be able to actually leverage that, move that around and put it to work in real economy.
I think they are leveraging it. We just don't know.
If they're not already, they will be soon.
I'm sure if you go look, they might be leveraging it to take out like value, take value and move it around to other places. Well, no, but they also have to put that inside the RAT BTC too. So depending on how much it is, they have to also move it into RAT BTC. Some of it has to be sitting in that protocol to back the RAT BTC 1-for-1, and then they use the RAT BTC for collateral, because it just keeps Bitcoin more safe rather than just using the Bitcoin itself. So that's probably what's going on. That Bitcoin is sitting at a proxy that's pointing at RAT Bitcoin, and that's why. But they are raising the debt ceiling of how much Bitcoin they can bring in and use. And they've been doing that ever since Richard got involved, which I think he's been involved with MakerDAO since the get-go, since the launch of it. And I'm sure he was friends with the owner whenever the dude got murked, semi-close to him. So it probably meant a lot to him to like cater to that protocol and turn it into what they were always planning to do.
Every single person has
that
a duty
that might have been
to...
that dude's will too. It's been like, if you work with anybody, you work with Richard Hart. You know?
I believe that every single person in crypto has the duty to stand up behind what happened to that person, because, you know, no one just says that owning a multi-billion-dollar
that's why I think Maria and Hexanaut and Richard and Rune all jumped in and were like, right, we're all about it. And then they came up with a plan, and then they brought it to Binance, they brought it to Ethereum, and then some other, like maybe Gnosis. I mean, Gnosis wrote them a letter. The reason that they launched on Gnosis chain is that someone within the Gnosis protocol wrote them a letter, and then that's why Spark launched. But Gnosis is already an XDAI holder and a big XDAI maker proponent. I actually kind of like Gnosis. I might actually build on it. They have a really cool
Genosis?
Yeah, just Gnosis. Yeah, Gnosis.
I believe everybody in crypto has a duty to stand up for what happened to that guy, because no one just like says that and owns a huge protocol and then washes up ashore. Like that's
what year was that? Was that he had launched Hex yet? Probably not. I don't think he had launched Hex yet.
Dude, that happened very recently. Like that happened at the end of 2022, I believe.
Okay, so Hex had just okay.
So, you're talking about Pulsechain? No, Pulsechain. No.
I'm talking about like what? You're right. You're on the right track.
Yeah, no. Pulse hadn't launched then, but it was way beyond the Hex launch.
That's what I'm saying. So they were already there. They were definitely homie. Because Richard holds so much MakerDAO MakerDAO liquidity pools. It's insane. The ones that we've seen, and that's kind of what puts him in control of the protocols, because he can be like, and the fact that he had so much DAI, and now he loved DAI. Like, and that was his thing. He goes, I love crypto, and he goes, you would call me a connoisseur of stablecoins. He goes, I love stablecoins. He goes, I'm going to build one someday. It's going to be the best one you could ever think of. His word. And like I was like when we were explaining the whole fluctuation thing, and Axis was like, damn. He's like, you thought about that? I was like, he goes, do they say that somewhere? I'm like, no, man. That's like, it just makes sense, right? Like to have a collateralized asset that's sitting behind it that fluctuates, that they can still make profit off of. And they still have an extra 10. Like if it's going up and down 50 cents, if it's just and then we get depegged by 10 cents, it like just like that protocol could swing. It could literally swing itself purposely down, feed it right into the. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude. I said that, and that doesn't even come into play with what the Tropa bots can do, right? Just that token alone, swinging in the way that it swings, keep DAI pegged. But that's 3 years later. It's gonna take a while.
I just realized this whole system of like the DAI stablecoin pegged into $1 will really fulfill Richard Hart's dream alone to migrate a whole network onto another platform, because I'm not sure what the value of
that's what Sonny said. That Sonny goes, dude, he goes, this is Bitcoin, bro. You don't get it. Like he moved Hex over to this and then copied it over to this. He goes, that Bitcoin is here in the form. He goes,
but you know what Richard wanted to do with Bitcoin, right? He wanted to give every single person that was holding Bitcoin the free value in Hex.
Yes.
He's finally able to do that successfully without their permission. Because with Bitcoin, he needed their permission with a signature to prove ownership. Now he can just take their addresses and be like, you own this on a chain. Switch your RPC.
Correct. And he might do, like, who knows? I don't think Richard's done. I think the stablecoin is just the beginning of a mean to an end, but it's not the end.
Yeah, and I think, you're right. The only thing bigger than Bitcoin is the Federal Reserve at this point. So the only way to make something bigger than Bitcoin is to make something that's equal to the Federal Reserve.
We literally just minted. We literally have one now. We literally have those guys. Those guys can trade.
The official decentralized minting press.
With those bots, they can literally trade in an environment against nobody except themselves and mint stable, and they do it through consensus, through voting, right? Takes time. It's not like the Federal Reserve can just do millions real quickly. Like, we can do a little bit and then, seemingly use DeFi in a way that it's supposed to be used anonymously, to keep them out of our business and to keep people on their toes. As soon as I saw that contract again that said phishing scam, I said, here we go again. Now it's on a bridge. What does that mean? Oh, I know exactly what that means. Privacy bridge. And that means they're able to do a privacy bridge without it even looking like a privacy bridge, without it saying like you start here and then you end here. Like, it's not going to do that. It's going to be literally able to land, literally going to like mint your address, like an implementation token of your wallet and your token, like on someplace like inside of a pool. And then it's going to literally burn it. They're going to think it's burnt. And then it's going to end up on a whole nother pool, on a whole nother chain, sitting over there, and they're going to think that it got burnt here, but it's going to be way the fuck over there.
I wonder how many of those phishing scams that they were sending me on Binance Smart Chain were secretly just
no, they were all whitelisted. They're all whitelisted, so you wouldn't have been able to buy it, you wouldn't have been able to use it. It was actually protecting kind of protecting people from just in case they wanted to front run them. These guys are way too smart. Like, did y'all hear about like Maria, the hack that happened on Blast? So Blast Layer 2 got hacked for $62 million. 3 hours, Maria and her team recovered the $62 million from the hacker. They hacked the hacker. The dev ran off of Blast, and literally within 3 hours of the hack, they got the money back from the hack. But that also shows you that if they're working with Blast, or she's actually paying attention to it, like, Blast actually plays a bigger role in this than we all know. And I think it might never have to come to fruition, because gas, became cheap so quickly that it never had to come to fruition. Or there's still more to it coming. Might be part of
narratives inside narratives, man. I'm sure we're going to find an alternative requirement for that bridge to happen.
Okay, to hear me out. You guys know how there's dog shows where dogs can show off their skills and stuff? What if we have a stablecoin show where everyone can show off their stablecoin support mechanics and all that?
That's what I was talking about. Dev Wars, bro. Remember Dev Wars?
Well, no, Dev Wars is different. That's flat out different. We're talking something that's literally like a dog show, but for stable coins.
Oh, okay. But so you'd have to be like, all right, try to flash loan my stable coin.
Yeah, well, it'll literally just be like a competition.
You have 5
with a bunch of different battle tests and stuff.
Like you have 5 minutes
to see
with different
which one's like the strongest and all the different characteristics for each one.
Right. So you have you get to pick 2 different tokenomics. You can inflate and whatever, or you can tax in this.
No, I'm talking about like all of the founders, like all of the people. Like, this can get big. We can have like the people from Tether and Circle coming in. We can have like people from everybody that has a protocol that actually is responsible for pegging and supporting a stable coin can come in and talk about their stable coin, because there's quite a few. There's at least like 5 or 6. So like, eventually they'll all be able to come in, and then James can come in and talk about that, and then James and Maria can finally meet, even though we know they already know each other.
Shit, I don't even know where I'm at. Did I pass it?
By the way, James and Maria are officially 2 different people, because like Maria Magnus is a part of Summerfi, and then James is just, Maria Rahel on thing. But it's crazy how we actually found Maria Magnus through through James's username.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say,
we found her last summer
on that IRC.
She was before we even knew James was before it was settled that James was 414. There was speculation that Maria was
still a Maria.
could be
That's still a
could be
person.
right, but
Yeah, it's still a Maria.
yeah.
James, it just happens to be the person that doxed as a face, but they're still a Maria.
Where the hell?
No,
Well,
I think
Maria
James
Rahel
is just
is
using Maria's
James.
username. It's just the Maria username. But yeah, no.
No,
I always
not at
had
all.
the speculation that the Maria
explain
account was a
this?
dude, but two
Is
totally
Maria
different people, two
involved?
totally different characters that play two totally different
But
like
they're the exact same
roles.
person.
No, they're not the exact same person.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they
No,
are.
they're not. You
Same
guys are
pictures.
schizo. It's not
No, I don't believe they are.
100%
Yeah.
the same chick.
Yeah, it is.
100% the same chick, dude. Blonde hair.
No, Maria. Yeah, that Maria is not James though. Maria Magnus is
that's
not
what I'm fucking
James.
There's two
saying. They're trying
different people that are both
to tell me that
involved.
it is. They're saying that James
No,
is a
I'm trying
fucking
to
front
tell
man.
you there's
Why is
there's
James a front man if he worked for NASA and has 25 years
not
of
a
coding
front man.
experience?
because
He's part
James
of
is
their
one of the
team.
many people on the team, Sponge. It's not one person. It's several. Maria's still
Maria
a person
Rahel
involved.
is James. Maria
Yes.
Magnus is
Correct.
Maria Magnus.
Correct. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
And she's laughing her ass off listening to
but
this
I'm
probably
saying-
right now.
but
She's
he
like, you guys are
shows-
fucking wild.
But he shows an Instagram photo of Maria Rahel, Maria Magnus. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. They're the same person. They're Maria Rahel,
No,
Maria
they're
Magnus.
not.
We already proved
Oh
the
my
Sponge.
God.
Like, me and Rig already looked into this. Literally, they posted the Instagram that led to the Twitter. Like, it's the same person.
Did.
Like, we're not just
Yeah,
doing
there's a link by name, but James on IRC is on the IRC. Maria Rahel is
Yeah,
James.
he's literally just using Maria Rahel. It has nothing to do with things.
We don't know if that's James on the IRC chat. We don't know who that is.
She's from Finland too.
All we know is this person named James that worked with Richard did a video and is involved in the Tropa. That we know. That he most likely helped build Pulsechain because Richard hinted that 6 years ago.
James hasn't admittedly worked with Richard. He said, I'd like to work with Richard one day.
Yes, but Richard said in a video 6 years ago that his co-founder was someone that worked for NASA. So speculation says that that's James, but we don't know for sure. That is correct. We know for sure. It's extremely likely.
Also, we
I
don't
was
know
paying
for sure that they're the
attention
same person. And I
from
can
the
guarantee
beginning
that
of this
two different
IRC
people
stuff.
I can guarantee you that two different people that speak very fluently about the topic are probably involved in two different ways, in two different sectors.
Exactly.
So they're two
It's a
different
team
people.
of multiple people. It's not one person. The Tropa is not ran by one person.
Oh, obviously, but
Yeah, James and Maria are two separate people, and they're both involved. There was a Maria. There was a Maria.
I think James built it, but Maria helped design it. But James built the whole thing. But I think Maria helped design it.
So just when we say
Maria
Maria,
is not the 414 though. James is proven to be 414.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
And there is stuff that goes down in the IRC that has to be James. Like he may be using her name on purpose for whatever reasons. I don't think that's actually.
It was to connect dots. It was so people like me find it and be like, this makes sense.
Because in the very beginning, that's what people thought. For a little while, there was a big division that went down between.
That's whenever I freaked out. I even showed it to Sponge one day, and he's like, "What the?" I was like, "Dude, yeah, she literally wrote a song called The Tropa."
Yeah, we found that out real early, before we were sure that James was 414. There was a lot of speculation. It actually really divided the community, and some people and it's still there's still beef between these guys that uncovered the first stuff.
Tweets, you'll find out that Maria is part of Summerfy, which is part of Spark. I mean, they're all right there working together.
What we don't know, I don't think is how connected those two are, but it seems very likely
they're from the same place. They're both from Finland, and so is Richard. I think that's where Richard lives too.
Yeah, anyway.
All I know is I'm about to be rich.
Yeah, lately, the down Atropa Bullionate Zizek is what look in the Atropa subtopic at what Solix just posted. I'm not gonna try and quote it when you could just read it there. It's straight from the IRC.
Because I can't read it because I'm driving.
Okay, I'll read it. It's really interesting because I don't there's so much going on. I don't follow the IRC 100% because so many other people do.
They're all in on it 100%.
Maria, it can be derived that from long-term holding, Bullionate might currently be a better investment than either Atropa or Down. That is the purpose of the design. We will cover it later, but I am open to theorization about how the majority pairing of Zizek to Bullion 8 might establish Zizek as the best long-term holding asset in the system thus far. The theory also is that as funds enter the system, Atropa Down, Bullionate Zizek, that there should not be any significant price go down of the earlier assets.
What about
have it? Yeah, that
Zizek is actually named after a famous, I think a famous old school blockchain enthusiast, one of the first people that got involved with blockchain.
He's very similar to RH. He's
like a breakthrough type of guy.
A philosopher kind of, yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's
like a character. Yeah.
BFF's supposed to be like the central core to the like layer 2 gaming.
And then what about Mantisa? I know Mantisa the one that's tied to USDT. So I started buying. I literally since I found out what was happening, I literally threw quite a bit of funds into USDC and USDT because I know they're going to peg too.
I've been meaning to like dive on that. I don't really know. Like it's kind of like a mirror thing. I don't. It's not 414. I don't think, but it's like I don't know about that one. Like it's
they're gonna even if it's just their USDT that's pegged and they know it's okay. Like they're just gonna keep it. They might even call it like USDT die.
So yeah, it's $500 when she said that. And then it did like what, 8x since she said that.
Yeah, they're going through this.
They're going to be buying our shit. They're going to run away from their shit. They're going to be buying our shit because fuck their shit.
They're going through a whole audit process. They haven't gotten to Greenland yet, but I'm really hoping Maria says like $100 Greenland or something because so it starts pumping. But yeah.
Yeah, she said in the video at the coffee like Greenland is not gonna. She didn't say to don't buy, but James said it's okay, but it's not the best asset to buy. Like it's okay, you know. Like he said,
it's gonna pump in teddy bear pumps. That's the way it was designed. So
okay, yeah.
It's paired in Poppy and Teddy Bear, but Teddy Bear is its biggest pairing, but it has a supply of 62K. So it's like, if Teddy Bear starts really running, it's going to do some pretty crazy numbers. Oh, I know. That's why I think, I feel like I didn't get into Teddy Bear as early as others because I didn't.
I cut into like 1 million.
Yeah, Greenland kind of gives a second chance if you miss.
That's the whole point of the ecosystem, right? Yeah, it's like you're able to. Doesn't matter when you join, you're able to still technically not get quite as many X's, but you're able to pretty much pull off near the same amount of X's. Doesn't matter when you join.
Yeah, I mean, I still bought a bunch of teddy bear because even at 25 million, that's like for as big as it could be. That's a very low market cap.
It's gonna reach like 40 billion, like 40 billion.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's been lesser memes that hit those numbers, so it could definitely do it.
Especially since the meme with utility is gonna blow people away.
You blew my mind when you're like, Richard might actually not make Pulse the gas token. I mean, like, who's to say you can't be like, Pulse fast one like you did with Pulsechain and change the whole paradigm again?
100%.